Astronauts to the moon.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaronism, back with another video. First, I wanted to make a quick announcement. Many people were asking, and we did not have a show on Tuesday, a Globebuster show. Sadly, there was a little bit of a disagreement between the Globebusters, and unfortunately, that damage is kind of irreparable for now. So anyway, we move on. On Monday, I will be telling that story to start the show. And then at 7 p.m., I'll be having Mr. Flat Earth Clues himself, Mark Sargent, and he'll be joining me till 8:30. And during that show, I will also be announcing the new co-host, and he will be starting and joining me on Tuesday for ISS Live, also at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also remember, after the show on Monday, I will be having my first radio show. So my wife and I will probably spend most of the night just talking about ourselves and figuring out how to use the phone system and taking some calls. So join us. It's on truthfrequencyradio.com. That's Monday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Jaronism Monday Night Raw. So let's get down to some flat earth business. First up, let's talk about Google Loon. What is it, you ask? Well, it's just further proof of the flat, non-space meandering, non-rotating, non-galaxy flying plane that we call Earth. It is a high-altitude balloon. It's usually sent to about 20 miles high, and it creates an aerial wireless network. Many people think that our internet is actually served through space-based satellites, but we all know there is no such thing, and obviously Google does as well. So Google does plan on sending up 300 balloons around the world, and they're all going to be sent up at the 40th parallel south. And Google hopes to eventually have thousands of balloons in the sky. So, somebody want to tell me why we need to do balloons if we have satellites? So, I was reading up on my geosynchronous orbits, and a geosynchronous orbit means that it's orbiting the same rate as the Earth. So, once around in a sidereal day, or 23 hours and 56 minutes. Meaning that to the Earth observer, of course, the satellite doesn't move in the sky. Duh. Makes sense, right? We see them standing still, so they got to make up some excuse for why they're actually going around. Now, one disadvantage of these particular types of satellites is that there is a 0.25 second delay when they are 6,900 miles out. So, of course, I started thinking, well, what's that delay on the moon? So, of course, that's easy to figure. We just take the 240,000 miles divided by the 6,900, and we get about 35, and we times that by 0.25, and we come up with 8.69 seconds. Now, do you remember a 9-second delay during the Apollo missions? I sure as hell don't. And if you think about it, let's move that out to Mars. So now we've got 150 million miles divided by the 6,900 times 0.25, then divided by 60, and we come up with a 90-minute delay. 90 minutes is the delay to Mars. How would you land a spacecraft there? It's impossible. But I mean, come on, the 9-second delay, and that's today. Today, it's a 9-second delay, and we are just supposed to believe that 50 years ago, these guys were able to be up there playing golf and communicating in 1 to 2 second delays. I think not. Now, take a look at the screen, and let's get back to Google Loon. Tell me what makes more sense at the 40th degree parallel line in the south. Does it make more sense if we littered balloons around the flat Earth? Or does it make more sense that we place balloons around the bottom of the globe for no reason whatsoever? And remember also that those balloons on the globe Earth are spinning with the globe at 1,000 miles per hour and flying through space at 66,000 miles per hour. So don't forget those. Next, let's look at this patch I put up here. This is the NASA patch for the Magellan mission, which was back in the 80s or 90s, I think. But you'll notice that they've got a picture of Magellan doing what he did best, which was circumnavigate the globe. Right or wrong? It appears here that he is circumnavigating the flat Earth. So, see how they put it right in front of your face? This image here is just how I'm assuming most of the globe Earthers must view the world. They all say they've seen a curve, so maybe this is what they're seeing. But if you think using your mind and your brain, look at that image and pretend that the world was like that. Imagine now looking to your right or left or doing a complete 360. How would that circle ever end? See? So we got to be looking around, keeping our eyes open, looking for those hints, looking for anything we can gather that will help us find the truth. Oh, I know one of them. What is that called? Oh, when something's right there in front of you.
Get a clue.
Thank you. That's it. So clues. Clues are the key. All right. Well, let's get a little taste of clue.
Anybody else want a whiskey?
Yeah.
All right, look. Pay attention, everybody. Wadsworth, am I right in thinking there is nobody else in this house?
No.
Then there is someone else in this house.
No, sorry. I said no, meaning yes.
No meaning yes? Look, I want a straight answer. Is there someone else or isn't there? Yes or no?
No.
No, there is or no, there isn't?
Yes.
Please! Don't you think we should get that man out of the house before he finds out what's been going on here?
Yeah.
How can we throw him outside in this weather?
If we let him stay in the house, he may get suspicious.
If we throw him out, he may get even more suspicious. If I were him, I'd be suspicious already.
Oh, who cares? That guy doesn't matter. Let him stay locked up for another half an hour. The police will be here by then, and there are 2 dead bodies in the study.
Shh. Well, there is still some confusion as to whether or not there's anybody else in this house.
I told you there isn't.
There isn't any confusion or there isn't anybody else?
Either. Or both.
Just give me a clear answer.
Certainly. What was the question?
Is there anybody else in the house?
No!
So, what exactly does clue have to do with anything? Well, if you didn't know, a clue, spelled C-L-U-E, was originally spelled C-L-E-W. And it is a ball of string or thread or yarn. And it was needed to get out of a maze or labyrinth. And this idea goes back as old as Greek mythology. And as the legend goes, Theseus used the clue, or the ball of string or yarn, to get back out of the labyrinth and to escape from the deadly Minotaur. So must we also find the big clue? The unraveling of the ball of string? Is it the labyrinth? Watch this clip and listen to the words carefully.
Everything that you wanted, I have done. You asked that the child be taken. I took him. You cowered before me. I was frightening. I have reordered time. I have turned the world upside down. And I have done it all for you. I am exhausted from living up to your expectations. Isn't that generous?
Through dangers untold and hardships unnumbered, I have fought my way here to the castle beyond the Goblin City. For my will is as strong as yours, and my
Stop! Wait. Look, Sarah. Look what I'm offering you. Your dreams.
and my kingdom is great.
I ask for so little. Just let me rule you and you can have everything that you want.
Kingdom is great. Damn. I can never remember that line.
Just fear me, love me, do as I say, and I will be your slave.
My kingdom is great. My kingdom is great. You have no power over me. You have no power over me.
So, what do you think? Did you ever expect Labyrinth to be a key? So we now know they kind of can be lying anywhere, any place, any time. Well, now check out this next one. This is a picture of Mars, supposedly. Because did you hear that last week some scientists or some robots or some orbiters found liquid water on Mars? Bullshit. Excuse me. Well, I have my beliefs and you can have yours. So, this water discovery actually reminds me.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for.
The comment of the week. This comes in response to my Mars is fake video. Someone said, NASA found water and life on another planet. The US and NASA is going to terraform and colonize Mars. So suck it, bitch. Thank you, sir. Well, let me just tell you that if you look at your screen now, December 6th of 2006, NASA stated that water still flowed on their fake little planet. So I bet you if you check back in 2025, they'll just discover it again. And then earlier this year, they announced a $3 billion rover was going to go to Mars, even though we already have like 3 there. But this probe is going to gather knowledge. If you just read between the lines, you can see where clearly none of this stuff is going on. Bolden even admitted that NASA will not return to the moon in his lifetime, nor does he really think we're going to get anywhere. Next story is Lockheed Martin is building a space fence. Yes, you heard me correctly. Space fence. Please watch this little piece. And I may have added some sound effects of my own. Enjoy.
There are millions of objects in space. Every time there is a launch to space or a collision in space, there's going to be extra objects out there. The primary purpose of the space fence system is to detect, track, and catalog these objects. Space debris can include non-operational satellites, as well as anything that was used to get the satellite up there. And then if you think about events from earlier 2009 with the collision of the Iridium and the Cosmos satellite, that added a bunch of space debris to the environment too. All of a sudden you have an object cross, gets detected, then on that object you start forming high quality tracks, where that involves the radar, scheduling more beams, going out there, tracking the object through the entire field of view. So we have new technology that never existed before. We're detecting, tracking, cataloging these objects, performing catalog maintenance, and keeping the operational commanders aware of everything that's happening in space.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna miss these halls.
I'm just a geek with a squeaky voice.
I'm so sad.
Lockheed Martin. We never forget who we're working for.
Could it be?
Let's watch a little night feed from the ISS here and look at how pathetic they are for faking it. Boo.
The sky is set for some fairly exciting stuff this weekend, isn't it? Tell us about this super moon I've heard about.
It's going to be a wonderful thing. It's at 3 a.m. on Monday morning. And actually starting about 1 a.m. there will be a lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse.
Wow.
So that means that the moon will move into the Earth's shadow and it will go blood red. And it's also a so-called supermoon, so it's a big old moon there, full moon, and it will go completely red. So if the sky is clear, about 1 to, I think 3 o'clock is the totality, so-called totality. It's worth seeing because it's a spectacular sight, actually. It's quite rare.
And Stargazing Live, we've got these big budgets, whatever. On the One Show, we've got a few props so that you can help show us how it works.
Demonstrate what's going to be happening on Sunday.
You be the sun.
I'll be the sun.
So
Okay, that's a pressure gig.
And let's say that's the moon and this is the Earth. Obviously a scale problem.
Yeah,
this is the demonstration. Essentially.
Notice he won't use the items of the correct size. He's using the wrong scaled products.
Sure, you're a professor. That's the Earth and that's the moon.
Yeah, all right. Well, so we're sat on the Earth.
Yeah.
And the moon will be there. And the moon will go into the Earth's shadow. So that literally you'll see the moon shining there as normal. And about 1 a.m. you'll see the Earth's shadow start to...
So you may need to rewind it to see it again, but watch it again. The only way that he can make the shadow that we see appear on the moon is by using a smaller ball as the Earth and moving it in front of the moon. Watch it again. He makes sure that's the way he does it so everyone can see what they see at home.
Across the face of the moon. And it doesn't go completely black because of all the dust in the Earth's atmosphere, but it goes red.
So where's the red colour come from then?
It's not the
And now we get to see these sellouts. So first they fly the Concorde at 70,000 feet. You can see right out the window behind him that the Earth is flat. And then they take the side view and show this stupid globe where it still says 70,000 miles, which is a complete and total joke. Because as you see here with Baumgartner, who was at 128,000, his horizon was flat. Yet they show a pronounced curve even bigger than the curve of the ISS, which flies at 1,320,000 feet. Sorry, myth hustlers. You guys are a bunch of jackasses. And liars. And pathetic.
Imagine, very real. And I want to introduce some of those folks.
Now we're going to watch everyone's favorite, and I mean everyone's favorite, actor, Mars robot guy, slash Elvis impersonator, slash douchebag, Adam something.
Well, I guess I'm here for something a little different. I'm here to talk about Mars.
You would need 3 promotions to get to be an asshole.
Oh, I can't stand this guy already.
And where our technology may take us in terms of our exploration. This is an image of Mars.
That's a video
taken from the Curiosity rover. And this is a video taken from that rover.
We already said that.
Both the video and the photograph were actually quite difficult to take.
You mean impossible?
This video was taken from the MARDI instrument on the Curiosity rover, sitting underneath the world's largest supersonic parachute.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
2 miles above the surface of Mars.
Yep, computer says so.
This kind of exploration challenges us.
You're a tool.
Us. The data from this video took over 3 weeks to get down to Earth.
It's really possible to send videos 150 million miles.
At Mars.
I'm sure.
We're not 10 base T.
No cables.
Some
Wi-Fi.
of our technologies look normal, look expected, and some of them look quite strange, even crazy. The sky crane is a technology that we used to explore.
That's real.
We got laughed out of the room frequently when we brought it up.
You should have been.
But we saw the virtue in it, and we
saw
understood the fundamentals behind it, and we recognized that truly innovative things might
truly
look crazy
innovative
at
things.
the outset. So we bring these technologies to bear to explore.
Explore Mars.
A location that has captivated us for eons.
Oh, so much so. The red dot in the sky.
Before there were aids to human vision, we looked up at the night sky and we saw a light that was a little redder, a little bigger than the other lights in the celestial sphere. And we wondered if it might be alive. And that's an understandable question.
You gonna cry?
It's a profound question. You know, are we
The guy next to him wants to totally beat his ass.
universe?
Look at his
Are we
look on his
alone in our
face. Like,
solar
what are
system?
you talking about?
Could our nearest neighbor harbor life? So we explore to answer those questions, and we explore Mars and other destinations.
You spend more time on your hair than all the other men in this room
Because that
combined.
active exploration pushes us. It pushes us to do better.
Oh, to do better.
As teams, it pushes us to better our technology, and it pushes us to see what we might be able to do. And some of that is what we're doing here in this room today.
I want to know if you miss your days wrestling as the Honky Tonk Man. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, for us it is bandwidth. We don't have fiber. We have hundreds of millions
fiber
of
like
miles.
all of our internet is supplied through.
And so
You just have
we are
miles.
always
150
challenged
million
by being able
miles.
to take more data at the site, in this case Mars, with a
in this
rover,
case.
than we could get back in a single operation cycle, in a single day, in a dozen days, in a month. And so we look at strategies on how to boil that data down remotely into
You
the
talk like that to your
essential
wife?
information and
My
bring
Lord.
only that information back. It can be as crude as thumbnails to decide which images you might bring down, or maybe using
How would you
things
decide
not
which ones
like
you have to
raw
bring down
images,
before you've seen
but
them?
distilled data products like digital elevation maps and albedo
Digital?
maps, and bringing those down instead. Even within our planning cycle, since we are human-operated spacecraft,
Human-operated
of using
spacecraft.
virtual reality and augmented reality to help the operators then
Stop
deal
looking
with
at that guy. He
data
already
and
wants to beat you in the
turn
face.
around, commands on a rapid time scale. So we use HoloLens as a way of interacting with the data set and
Justin
getting
Timberlake is
our
pissed at him
commands
right
back
now.
up in the time
It's like,
that we need.
Elvis, I will kick your
And you
ass.
talked a bit about thinking through what autonomous action the robot can take.
Yes.
And what decisions it can make on its own that you really don't have to be involved in to help with that bandwidth restriction.
That's right. So we try and set out activities that the vehicle can do
I know
on
you
its
shop
own
in the
without our intervention.
women's teen section
But
for
then,
your jeans.
like your geofence, carefully fence those off in fault containment so that the vehicle cannot put itself in positions from which it can't recover. And that, unlike here on Earth where worst comes to worst, we may be able to have human intervention, there is no human intervention.
Stop
for us.
talking like
We
that.
cannot ever allow the vehicle to get into a deadly state.
There's no plan B.
There is no plan
No plan B. Yeah.
Is there a
And
plan B
Adam,
for the 3-inch
sky
wide
crane,
part in his
that
hair?
magnificent machine was not a traditional solution to getting the rover on Mars.
Right.
How did you protect that idea and bring it to life within NASA?
It's a computer
Yeah, that
program.
can be a challenge, right?
It's not real.
I spoke of it so frequently, I coined a little statement I'd make before I talk about the sky crane.
Oh,
Great
God, you're
works
so
and
obvious.
great folly may be indistinguishable at the outset. And it's true. If something's very, very different, it'll look strange. It might even look crazy.
You look
Now,
both.
unfortunately, crazy also looks crazy. So how do you
Indeed.
differentiate between the two? And for us, in our industry, it comes down to fundamentals.
Do they have
There
7
are
buttons
analyses you
unbuttoned
can perform to understand
around
if this
their neck?
idea really has gold in it. And we did that. And thankfully, at the laboratory at JPL, we're in a culture where ideas win over people, and the merits of the idea really survives. And we were able to make the value proposition of what this system did for us clear enough and demonstrate through analysis that the fundamentals
The guy next to you is not buying it.
And we were able to pull along the rest of NASA.
Wonderful. Wonderful. It was a pleasure to be up here with you three. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Beth Comstock.
Now, forgive me my rant here, but who cares about Mars? Who cares? Do you know water boils at 10 degrees on Mars? That means it is the equivalent of like 1,000 degrees on Earth. Elon Musk might care about Mars, but what else is he going to do? I'm sure wiping your ass with $100 bills eventually gets boring. So what? Then you light off nuclear bombs over that little red dot in the sky? Are you crazy? Stick to electric cars, Elon. I mean, honestly, who cares about Mars? Do you all of a sudden think you'll return from the dead? Then why are we spending billions on it? It's a joke. It makes no sense at all. The planet would be miserable for any human. And good luck getting past 400 miles from the Earth since no human's ever done it. Why did we become a species that's afraid of the truth? Now we call the truth nonsense or silly or dumb or retarded. And then we immediately dismiss the people who have the truth because we assume that we have the intellectual high ground. Any evidence, we just can reject it as a matter of fact. Human beings are actually foolish enough to think that their conventional worldviews are the highest form of rationality. They don't factor in intentional deception. What is even more amazing is how people can adopt a belief system, be that religion or atheism, and then they walk through the door to their personal enlightenment, at least as they assume, and then they try and shut the door behind them, never to look back. And that's not the problem. The problem is that they're actually proud that they never look back. Being able to change your mind and to study and research your beliefs is an amazing opportunity. You're not stuck. I'm telling those who believe in the globe still, you better test it. And don't trust men. But let's take care of our planet first and leave the little red dot in the sky to itself. So thanks for watching, everybody. 2 little notes. First, if you believe that the Earth is flat, or you are a globe skeptic, or you have your doubts, do me a favor. Turn your video camera on yourself. Take a 5-second video. It could be you and your sister, could be you and your wife, could be you and your girlfriend, you and your little brother, you and your mom. Doesn't matter. Put a video on yourself and just say something to the effect of, I think the Earth is flat, or I think space is fake, or I don't believe in Mars, or the sun isn't 92 million miles away. 5 seconds, your choice, whatever you want to say. Send it to jeranism@yahoo.com. I'll probably run this for about a week or 2. Get as many as we can, and I'll put them together in a video that'll be pretty kick-ass to just see a bunch of people all together talking truth. So, again, email me that. If you have any questions, comment, jeranism@yahoo. And the last thing is, if you can help us out, we'd appreciate it. We can't keep on doing this without your guys' help. It's the only way we'll be able to put in the time it takes to do everything we've been doing. So If you think we're doing good and you think we're making the world a better place and you have extra, please click the link in the description to check out our Patreon. And if not, no big deal. Our videos are always free. They always will be free. And if we don't get any assistance, we'll just do this as often as we can. We love it, and that's why we do it. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Don't think there's anything else for you. So this has been Jaronism, reminding you to be kind to one another, don't lie to each other, and as always, open your mind, because there's truth inside. Till next time.